Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Heine. I'm a member of the Nonpartisan League of Women Voters of Lexington, and I will serve as moderator for this forum for the Democratic candidates for County Judge Executive. This forum will be available on the League's website, lwvlexington.com, throughout the campaign season. The candidates for Judge Executive and the Democratic primary are Mr. Sean Mike Pickard, Mr. Tony W. Coffey, and Miss Mary Diane McCord Hanna. At the time of this forum, Mr. Coffey did not show up. So we are going to proceed with Mr. Pickard and Miss McCord Hanna. We're following the League of Women Voters policies and procedures for this forum. In order to give the candidates a fair chance to be heard, we have used random.org to determine the order of opening remarks and questions, and a second time for the order of closing remarks. Each candidate will have 60 seconds to introduce themselves and 60 seconds to respond to questions. The questions have been created by the sponsors. Finally, we will give each candidate 60 seconds for closing remarks, and we'll use the second drawing for that order. We'll begin with opening comments, and Ms. McCord Hanna will go first. You have 60 seconds.
Hi, I'm Mary Diane McCord Hanna. I am a farm manager. I own a farm called Silvacola Farm. It's been in our family since the 1800s. I also own and manage 3 rental properties that are fully furnished. I do other creative things for pay like art and calligraphy and photography. I have been a dental hygienist and the president of the Dental Hygiene Association in Lexington. And my first degree is from the University of Kentucky, where I was cum laude. My second was from East Tennessee State University, where I was magna cum laude. I'm the only candidate who lives in the rural area in this grouping. I have been president of the Old Richmond Road Neighborhood Association for probably over 30 years. It's the largest association and the most widely encompassing association. And I'm the only woman running in this office.
Thank you. Mr. Pickard, your opening remarks.
Ms. Sean Mike Pickard. I am a Lexingtonian from birth. I've been a member of the society for almost 48 years. This June will be 48. Graduated from the University of Kentucky with my undergraduate degree in elementary education. I received my master's from Georgetown College, and then went back to UK and received a Edge specialist degree in administration. So I have been working in the Fayette County school systems for 23 years. I've served populations in the Cardinal Valley area, the Sandersville area, and currently am in the Clays Mill area. There's also the area that I attended school, graduated Lafayette in 1992. My background also includes several years of coaching here in town. I have coached basketball, baseball, and some football. I've been a coach here in Lexington for almost 30 years.
Thank you. And Mr. Pickard, you'll take the first question first. What is the biggest challenge facing the Fayette County Judge Executive, and what would you do to address it?
With the rules of the merged government between Fayette County and Lexington, a lot of the, the Fayette County Judge Executive has had several of their responsibilities absorbed by the LWVG. The biggest one remaining is the appointment of empty offices or vacant offices. And so making sure that I vet and make the best decision for the county is the most important.
Thank you. Ms. McCord Hanna?
I don't really see it as a challenge necessarily. I think there are prescribed duties that currently exist, and I feel like it's a job that has certain things that you're supposed to do. And I think like he said, to be able to appoint people if they vacate the sheriff or the coroner or the county clerk or county attorney's position, you would want to have good counsel on that and do the right thing. And I think it involves also appointing people to the tax appeal board, and that's just one vote or one person from this particular position, one from the mayor and one from the fiscal court. And the thing that the people who asked me to run for this were involved with, or asked me to run for this because I was involved with preservation and with the rural roads out where we live. And they wanted me to do that because we tend to have an onslaught of the Nicholasville people trying to come through our rural land out here.
All right, thank you. Ms. McCord, Hanna, you'll take this question first. What should the public know about what the county judge executive does to serve our community?
Well, as I said before, I think there are prescribed things and people go, oh, you're running for county judge? Well, what do they do? I'm sure they vote for somebody all the time, but they don't really know what they do. So I would let them know what I have put on the back of my little card with information. They appoint people in those positions that might become vacated. They appoint people to the tax appeal board. They help with allocating funds for the rural roads. They meet with other county judge executives in the surrounding area. So I think having a good working relationship with them is good. And with the the area district development board, that's not ADD, whatever that is. And they meet with the fiscal court. So that's what I usually tell people. Oh, and the other thing is you're allowed to marry people if you want. Legally marry people.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pickard.
I've had this question posed by several friends and colleagues. The first thing is I try to explain to them that, yes, it does say county judge executive, but you're not required to be a lawyer to hold this position or have a legal background. But let them know that the main responsibility is overseeing the fiscal court of Fayette County. And also if there are at times vacancies that come up between the sheriff's office, the coroner's office, that the judge executive is involved in appointing the person who will fill in the remainder of that term. Also making sure with the fiscal court, looking at the roadways and how the road contracts are done, and making sure that we are using a responsible budget for the city.
Thank you. Mr. Pickard, you'll take the next question first. What factors would you use in deciding how to distribute the Lexington Fayette County road funds?
My first goal would be to look and see where the biggest needs are, where traffic patterns are affected most, which areas have the highest usage that is most impacted, or changes that would need to be made that make our roads safer to impact all of Lexington, to help everybody travel and move through town safely, and to keep our traffic patterns flowing as best we can.
Ms. McCord, Hanna.
Could you repeat that question again, please?
Yes.
Beginning of
What factors would you use in deciding how to distribute Lexington Fayette County road funds?
Okay, so from what I understand, it's anything that's not a state road or a federal road. And so it does deal with the county roads. And I think I would look at the need. I would see what has been proposed at this point, and I would listen to what other people from town say, because when you call 311 to talk to the people at the government, they monitor you and they won't let you through to the roads people. So you report it to either your council person or your Fayette County judge executive, or both. So I've been working with both of them for the roads on which I live and work and travel, which are like falling off the edge, and semis are coming through from Nicholasville and the overlap of the edge of the road can be like knee high. And if you fall off, you're going to turn and roll off. So I would be looking at those and the ones that in the county where the people are saying we need help.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McCord Hanna, you'll take the next question first. Is there any role for the county judge executive in encouraging a closer working relationship with surrounding counties? Please explain.
Well, I do feel like that is an issue. And I have worked on an area board with people from Fayette County and Nicholasville with regard to an outer loop being formed twice. And then most recently, they've wanted to put a connector road through. When I worked in that one group, it was the Fayette County Judge Executive, it was the Jessamine County Judge Executive, various farm owners and city leaders. And what we ended up doing after having about 6 or 8 meetings is deciding that it would go through Garrett County to get from, they would go through Garrett County to get from Nicholasville to I-75 south of Clay's Ferry. That has never happened. So now they're trying to bring it through here again. So I guess I would have to see how that all pans out, but I do look forward to working with the other county judges.
Okay, and Mr. Pickard, your answer to that question.
Could I also please hear the question again? I'm sorry.
Sure. Is there any role for the judge executive in encouraging a closer working relationship with surrounding counties? Please explain.
Yes, I think it is very important to work with the surrounding counties to make sure that we are looking at projects that benefit both Fayette and the other counties. Working together will help us to coordinate and make sure that we are in tandem when we come up with a plan that is best for us and doesn't get roadblocked as we move to another county. We want to make sure that we have open relationships with everybody and making sure that we have explored all the possibilities to create a good environment to get the best possible solution for all the citizens.
Thank you. Mr. Pickard, you'll take the next question first. How do you envision working with the mayor of Lexington?
In the position of judge executive, I think it is very important to have a close relationship with the mayor, to understand the processes that the mayor is choosing to go through and the areas that they are wanting to fund, making sure that we have the interest of every citizen in the county, and that we are looking to provide the best services that we can, the best roads we can, and making sure that we are on the same page and that we can come to an understanding and agreement that works best for the whole community.
Thank you. Ms. McCord Hanna, please.
I am very close with Linda Gorton. We're close personal friends. I've had parties for her when she's going to be elected or running for mayor. In fact, we had the very first one for the kickoff of her campaign for the current campaign. And so I'm very comfortable working with her. She comes to my Old Richmond Road neighborhood meetings. I've been the president of that for probably 30 years. And I usually have her. I have other people, the county, the at-large council people, our person who's Kathy Ploman in the 12th district. And so I've been working with her for a really long time. And when she was vice mayor and a council person, she also came to those meetings. So I look forward to working with her. And, you know, I feel like we have a great relationship, and she knows what I am about and I know what she is about. And we're pretty simpatico on rural preservation. And that's part of the reason I'm running for this office.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McCord Hanna. Public participation in government is very important. How would you reach out to the public?
Well, I do reach out to the public a lot. I have been very vocal to friends and other people about who I support for judges and for mayor and for council people, and why, you know, with what my own particular reason is for doing that. We had over 100 people on the table in our neighborhood meeting on Tuesday night, and we worked with the on the table people. That's Civic Lex. And then we also had part of that meeting with regard to a new road configuration at the end of Old Richmond Road at Jacobson Park. So I have reached out to people for years, and a lot of people do call me and say, okay, who do you think I should vote for and why? So I'm pretty vocal about that.
Right, thank you. Mr. Pickard.
I think it is very important that we expand our voter base so everybody has a voice in what we are choosing to do. I've been very vocal as a teacher. I've supported and talked to my students about the responsibilities of voting, why it is very important. We have done a lot of mock drafts in all of my classes whenever things have come along. We've done mock elections. Just at my also through my athletics that I've taught and coached, I've talked to the kids about their responsibilities and how they should be voting. I also like to talk with neighbors and friends when we have an opportunity about the merits of candidates, about things that we need to support, and helping to raise awareness for the right to vote.
Thank you. Mr. Pickard, you'll take the next question first. This position calls for administrative oversight. What experience do you have in managing people and in budgeting?
So I have, as I stated earlier, I have my administrative degree in elementary or in education. I have been on the administrative team in my school at Clays Mill. Through that, my oversight was over faculty and staff. We talked and we worked on hiring, looked at interviewing. I also served through the SBDM, which helped to talk about the budget of the school, how we allocated our funds to support the most students and the students with the greatest need to make sure that everything was there. My father is also a small business owner. Through that, I have always helped him with cutting payroll, helped him with taking care of the tax stuff and making sure that everything is filed and properly done.
Thank you. Ms. McCord Hanna.
Well, I work on a day-to-day basis, budgeting and allocating funds. I have a farm, so I have to work with that, with the money that comes in and the money that goes out. I worked to start a tennis tournament that started, I think, 28 years ago. There were about 4 or 5 of us that started it and started on a shoestring. So I worked with that and have worked with it since. I own residential and commercial property where I furnish it, and I have people coming in and utilizing it. And then, so I have to budget to be able to afford that and get the right products into those houses and the offices and so forth. And I ran an international thing for an artist and author named Joan Walsh Anglin in 2014. And I started it from scratch, and it went from start to finish, had people from 2 different countries, 34 different states, and it was on budget and even made a little money. So and I'm very frugal.
Thank you. You'll take the next question first. With merged Lexington Fayette County government, what are your thoughts about the need for or existence of the county judge executive in Fayette County?
My thoughts on that is that that position is ordained by the Constitution of Kentucky, so it's going to exist unless it's unless a bill comes out from the state legislature to get rid of it. And I don't think any of the other county judge executives would like that. They're kind of the equivalent to the mayor in those counties. So I feel like it's just a part of the merged government. It's a watered down version of what the other county judges have. And I think that's fine. You know, it has prescribed duties and you perform those duties, and there you go.
All right, Mr. Pickard, your response to that question.
Very much similar. It is part of our Kentucky Constitution. So unless there is a bill or amendment written, it is a position that will be part of Lexington Fayette Urban County government. I do think that there are certain responsibilities that are still important, and that Having this position in this role is important for the city because there are the prescribed issues of vacancy replacements, also overseeing the fiscal court. So it is a position that is here, and I think that we need to make sure that we have the right candidate in the position each time.
Okay, and this will be the final question. 30 minutes goes pretty quickly. What makes you the best candidate for this position? Mr. Pickard.
I believe I'm the best candidate for this, and the fact that I have several experiences with this town, growing up here, raised here. I'm raising a family here. My children are students of the Fayette County Public School System. My oldest is now a student at the University of Kentucky. My family, my parents were raised here also. My grandparents lived and died here. So this has been part of who I am. My thumbprint is on several different areas of this town. I'm very familiar with different areas from my background in teaching. I know what the area of Cardinal Valley is like. I know what Sandersville is like, and I know what South End is like. I think I can represent several different people because of my varied experience with all different groups. I've also worked with the youth in this town, and I've worked with the adults in this town. So I think I have all the qualities that we need for this position.
Thank you. Ms. McCord Hanna.
I'm surprised he and I have never met because we both were born and raised in Lexington, but he lives on one side of town and I live on the other. I have a long time dedication to this town. I was raised by my parents, but my grandfather was the county sheriff and then he was the Fayette County tax commissioner. So I was accustomed to polling and so forth. I think I work well with the people in Lexington. I'm very active at going to council meetings for various issues. I'm close to most of the council people like Steve Kay and Kathy Ploman and Worley, whose first name escapes me at this moment. I'm close to Linda Gorton, and I went to a large downtown church, so I have a pretty broad base of people that I've known my entire life. And that's it. I'm just accustomed to doing this.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks both of you candidates for answering our questions. We'd now like to turn to closing remarks, and using random.org, we have selected Mr. Pickard to go first and Ms. McCord Hanna to go second, and you'll each have 60 seconds for closing remarks. Mr. Pickard, your final remarks, please.
Yes. I would just like to reach out to the voters of Lexington, the Women's League. I would like to thank you all for having me here. I would love to have your vote and support in May. I feel like this is a prime opportunity for me to get into the political realm and to understand the workings of the LFUCG. I am dedicated to helping make this town a better town, and I want to make sure that I can give as much as I can to help Lexington grow and prosper and be as safe as possible.
Thank you. And Ms. McCord Hanna.
I did not ask for this job. People asked me to run for this job, and after careful consideration, I decided I would do it. I really didn't have political aspirations other than working behind the scenes. I have enjoyed working with all aspects of Lexington. I work with the University of Kentucky at the UK with the UK Opera Theater students, and so I'm involved with them. I've been in Grand Night for Singing for 4 years. I've been the head person to bring food or make sure food was there for all of the UK men's and women's tennis matches until COVID happened for about 25 years. I work well with the neighborhood organization, which is huge. People tend to call me for problems that are happening. How do I do this? Where do I find that? What should I do? So I'm just kind of accustomed to working in this realm, and I just feel like this would be a continuation of things that I already do.
Thank you. We'd like to thank both candidates for participating today. If you and the viewing audience are interested in other forums and league membership, please check out our website at lwvlexington.com. You may find additional information about the candidates at vote411.org. And we want you to be sure to vote in the primary election, Tuesday, May 17th. But keep in mind, you may also vote early at Kroger Field 3 days prior to the election, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before the election. So if you don't want to stand in line on the 17th, you can feel free to vote Thursday, Friday, or Saturday before. And for more detailed information about early voting, please go to our website again, lwvlexington.com. Thank you very much for joining us.